captains out there, and what Coach Lori Serrani did for CSJ was bring out the 5 seniors as it's seniors day, and she of course has number 33 Lori Landsberg, 24 is Vicky, 21 is Vicky Getty, Melissa Pike wears 24, number 13 Tahara Pleasure, and Irie Tompkins, number 11. Those are your 5 seniors on this squad, and of course Lyndon State College will be a very good way to end the season. Very good team, very tough team, skilled, and they have a 13-9 record coming in. So heading into the playoffs or the regionals that CSJ has qualified for since they won the Sunrise Conference, this is the type of competition you want to end the season on. Some high level, some good karma, some good energy. And so we'll see the officials explain the grounds rules here. And CSJ coming off a sweep of Southern Vermont College. They've actually had quite a winning streak put together here. And we will have Seniors Day as the 5 seniors will be announced to the public through the team, and we'll have the opening pitch after that. So we'll get set for Lyndon State College and CSJ on Munger Vision in softball action, college softball action to be exact. Coach Lori Serrani, welcome everybody here to the last home game of the season. Must recognize the seniors.
Right up the center of your field. And if you'll notice when these girls go out there, that's pretty much where they are. They are the strength of our team this year, and we will really miss them next year, but we're still looking forward to today's games as well as the regionals with these girls leading us. First, I'd like to recognize number 33, Lori Landsberg from Amsterdam, New York. Number 24 from Rutland, Vermont.
So Landsberg, welcome not recognized as a senior. Now 21 you're looking at is Vicky Getty. And Landsberg from Amsterdam, New York. And Vicky, of course, right here from Rutland, Vermont. Irene Tompkins from Schenectady, New York, coming out next. She'll start the ball game behind the dish. She'll be the catcher. And then in a second game, I assume we'll see her go over to the third base position. That's usually been the standard here this season long for CSJ. And these are your 5 seniors coming out, being introduced by Coach Lori Serrani. Then Tahara Pleasure, number 13. And she's from Albany, New York. And again, boy, the season just flew by. And number 24, Melissa Pike, coming out now from Gorham, New Hampshire, and she'll be the starting pitcher. She's a lefty with the good stuff, a lot of velocity, a lot of movement on the ball, and she's got a good sense of humor. She puts up with me all season long. So that is the 5 seniors on Seniors Day. Lyndon State College, the Hornets, take it on CSJ, and this will be the end of the celebrating right here because this is going to be a good competitive ball game for CSJ right here. Ace of the staff for CSJ out there, Pike, introduces one of the seniors, their final home game right here, and then they'll head off to the regional tournament. And again, CSJ coming off a very, very good win-loss record this year. They've had some impressive victories, but today I think as far as what we've watched them play, this will be their most toughest competition, and they're going to have to be sharp, and little mental mistakes are what can cost you a game like this. Got to execute. It's a cool day, it's breezy. It's not uncomfortably cool, it's just kind of day that I wish all the games could have been played under, but we'll have Tompkins behind the plate. On the rubber in the circle will be Pike, and you're going to be looking at Lauren Potter leading things off. Potter coming from Boaden, Maine, as Lyndon State. And that first pitch will be fouled on the first baseline. Boy, she stepped with the front foot toward the first base bag. Potter trying to take it to the opposite fields. As Pike, as you've watched CSJ softball action all season long, lives on that outside corner to the right-handed hitters. Likes to play with the corner on the outside. So they'll go as an 0-1 count, and we are underway from CSJ in what will be the final doubleheader. That'll be a ball 1-1 count. Hope you've enjoyed all the CSJ softball action. The White Birch Realty players of the game. I'd like to thank Mark Benetanis for donating the shirt, sponsoring that post-game show, and that's going to be a foul ball strike too. That's down the first baseline also. So Pike up in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pike has had an impressive season her senior year. And while Milt's telling her right there is when they need a dry ball, just call time, they'll give you a dry ball. Okay, so on a 1-2 count to Potter, and top of the first scheduled for 7, and the pitch on the way from Pike as she'll look and get the sign, go to the windup, and got her. Yeah, rung her up, and where was it? Outside corner. That's Pike territory out there on the corner. So Potter will go down looking at strike 3. She actually might have gone around and would have been the call. Now we will have the center fielder, Natalia Shums, up. Shums asking for time to do a little grounds work around the plate. And she's also from Swampscott, Massachusetts. And that'll be a ball. And actually, I wrote the name down wrong. It's Shams, and I apologize for that. Hey, sometimes I can't read my own writing. And that's going to be Rubel looking, and foul ball. Jessica Rubel, freshman on this squad that's played so well, gave it a good run, and she'll retrieve the ball in foul territory and bring it back. And Pike, even in the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. There's 1 down, nobody on. You can see Landsberg in about 4 feet from the corner on the third base side, and down at first base, Filiberto even with the bag. And Lyndon State Hornets in the green uniforms, mostly white, but trimmed out in green. CSJ in their home blues, and the Saints already winning the Sunrise Conference Championship, finishing out their season. You have to have X number of games to qualify for the regionals. That's why they're still playing after their tournament. So Shams has worked it, the count, to her favor here. Pike usually not wild, and that'll be a walk. So the first base runner reached base via the walk, and we'll see how aggressive Coach Kirchhoff wants to be as far as running the bases. I got a feeling she is going to be running often, or small balling it around. Sarah Tucker up now, and she will be the right fielder. So Tucker, the runner at first, and 1 out here. She'll square a bunt and miss the bunt, and it's going to be a strike, and I think they got her. Oh, she came below the tag. The throw was a good release, nice quick snap, but good slide down there, and that was a strike called on the pitch as she offered the bunt, never brought the ball back from the bunt position. And Tucker, the runner in scoring position now for Lyndon State College, looking to jump out on the lead here. And that called a strike. Pike right there. Cleanup hitter on deck will be Angel Phelps. And I will check that spelling when she gets up. So this would be a big get here with 1 down and a runner at second. And she got her. Oh, she could have thrown the changeup there, but all I know is it was a devastating pitch, and she's got 2 outs, both on strikeouts, and that's a big one because it's 2 down and the runner cannot advance. And it is Angel Phelps coming up, number 17. She is the third baseman. And I'll tell you what, in warm-ups when they were taking their infield practice, she had a devastating, powerful arm. I was watching her just throw BBs, and that would just miss the corner. So Pike trying to get out of this little bit of a jam she's in. She's got to run her second base, but 2 down now. Amy Edge is the left fielder for CSJ. Vicky Getty's in center, and Jessica Rubel is out in right field. And Coach Srani's talk before the game, she paraphrasing, pretty much wants her team to be focused, sharp, and intense here. This is a big ball game, even though it's a non-conference game, and Pike will get it. Nice job fielding it, throws to first, they'll strand the runner, and Pike will get 2 strikeouts and then an assist on that 1-3 ground out. We're scoreless after a half inning. So Ashley Borden will be the pitcher out there for the Hornets from Lyndon State College. She'll have Sarah Fedoroff as the catcher. And, of course, leadoff batter will be right there, Lori Landsberg. CSJ able to get out of the top half of the first, defensively keeping Lyndon State scoreless. And we are set to go here in the bottom half of the first. There's a breeze blowing right now. It doesn't seem to be a substantial breeze that will affect play. And always a threat of rain, but hopefully we'll be able to get in dry here. There's a strike called. And then that horn, around the horn, looks like Angel Phelps at third base, Lauren Potter at short, Josie Patnout is at second, and Mary Gagne is at first, and that'll just miss and be a ball. It was well framed by Fedoroff, but couldn't get the call. Sarah Leclerc is in left field. Your center fielder's Natalia Shams, and Sarah Tucker is in right field. That's the defensive lineman for the Lyndon State squad. And Landsberg trying to catch up to that rise ball. We'll be down in the count now, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Good crowd on hand. This is a tape delay, but it's a Sunday noontime start. It was Seniors Day, and it's going to be a good ball game. And Landsberg right there, perfect job with 2 strikes of what you're supposed to do. Protect the plate. Now you're still able to get up there and wait for a pitch that you like to drive. And so Landsberg, little look down to Coach Serrani, had a little chat with her, see what she comes up with here. And boy, she got a piece of it, and I think it's going to be too far of a run. Yeah, it'll drop in foul territory, and it'll just stay strike 2. So Landsberg doing a good job with 2 strikes on her, really buckling down, focusing, and making it a good at-bat here, her first at-bat. Vicky Getty will be on deck. Irene Tompkins will bat number 3, and then Tahara Pleasure will be in the cleanup spot today for the Fighting Saints. And again, spoils a good pitch by Borden. Again, you're watching CSJ softball action on PEGTV Channel 15. It's a presentation of Munger Vision, and you can go to the website for PEGTV at www.pegtv.com, and you can click on Video on Demand and watch any event, sporting event or any otherwise, right there on your computer. Fouled off again. Oh, she's got a beat on this. She's having a great at-bat. No matter what happens now, she has done her job in this leadoff spot, making Borden show her everything she's got in her menu and throw a lot of pitches. And Tom Leipold, the program director at Channel 15, wants me to remind you, Saturday afternoon starting at 4 o'clock, games of the week, and fouled it off the end of the bat. Just got fooled on it. It's a good spot to throw the changeup, but she's able to nub it off and stay alive. So a season just about complete, and I can't believe the month of April is all done. And Landsberg will just give it off to Fist, and she will line out to the pitcher, but I'll tell you what, that was a decent at-bat by Landsberg. So 1 out, nobody on, and Vicky Getty up now, the center fielder. Also one of those seniors that was honored here, recognized here prior to the start of the ball game by Coach Lori Serrani. Looking from Borden, she'll look for the target from Fedorov, and that pitch will be low below the knee of Getty. Good opportunity for me to thank Mark Benetanis and all the CSJ administrators for allowing me to come and videotape their sports, put it on Channel 15. I know it's well received in the community. Now the inside for ball 2. And again, Mark Benetanis, the athletic director here, also the sponsor of the White Birch Realty Player of the Game, and also very accommodating not only to me, but to all the teams and everybody involved in getting here to watch sporting events at CSJ. And Getty, with a good eye, will be down, well, she actually will be up in the count, 3 balls and no strikes. Like I said, Tompkins, the on-deck batter for the Fighting Saints. Yeah, and that will be inside ball 4. So each team would have gotten a base runner on in the first inning via the walk, and Tompkins now should do well today. Tompkins should. She very good athlete. She has seen some of the pitching that has been very erratic. It's hard to zone in on a ball to hit. She's going to start from the left side, which to me would say they're going to try to small ball Getty over, so we'll see what they do with Irene here. Shows bunt, runner goes, throw coming down. She's in a pickle, and that's a throw to first, covered the bag. They'll pump fake, they'll throw to second, and she's going to be safe. Yeah, Vicky Getty just danced her way into a stolen base on a pickle play that really wasn't executed that quickly or sharp. It just took too long. Then you got to either run directly full throttle at her, or you got to start making quicker, shorter throws. And right there, it was just a beautiful job by Getty. And I believe I got caught up in all that pickle play. That ball, the pitch was called a ball. So CSJ with the runner down at second, and they're trying to drag the bunt, and it'll be swung through by Tompkins, and I think it'll even things out at 1-1. And we have a threat here in the bottom of the first by the Saints. That's going to be a beautiful bunt. That's going to get the runner over to third. They'll get the shore out at first. Yeah, and so they will have the sacrifice laid down. 2 down now. And a runner at third base. This just puts pressure on the defense. Not to make an error here and allow that runner to come in. And now Tahara Pleasure at the plate, the number 4 batter in the order, and going through her pre-hit ritual of cleaning the plate off. So Borden, like Pike, trying to get out of this first inning with no score. And that'll be a strike at the belt. And it's Fedorov behind the plate doing the catching for Lyndon State. She got the bat on the ball. Now it'll be foul bound. The first baseline out of play. And Mike Dorian, the trainer, there with the grab in foul territory. Will bring the ball back into play. And Tompkins now has got to do just what Landsberg did. She's got 2 strikes on her. She's got to just fight off the pitches here and get one she can drive. And she will not. She will go down on strikes. Might have been a changeup, but we'll have a scoreless first inning. We'll be looking at Sarah Leclerc, Mary Gagne, and Ashley Borden. That'll be the 3 due up here to face Pike, who did have a walk in that first inning. She also had 2 strikeouts, so that will be off the foot. I had to make sure she hit her in the foot. Now it'll be the first runner of the second inning, and she got on the hard way. She got hit with the softball, and now Gagne will come up with a runner down at first. We've already seen that Coach Kirchhoff will be aggressive on the bases, so they'll test the arm of Tompkins again and see if they'll small ball it over, maybe go to the slap or just a straight steal. But Gagne will ask for time. She's the first baseman.
We have a question on the book. Does that matter? Well, I don't know what you got. You got to tell me.
But they have a question in the book. And what they're looking at, I think, is somebody in the lineup who's not in the lineup. Okay, so what there was a question on. Yeah, they were talking about the jersey number, and if somebody had batted who didn't have the right jersey number in the game, it's just like in basketball, technical foul. But okay, so we're all set. Runner at first got hit by the pitch. And Gagne at the plate, and Pike all set with her. This is different, though, to have the lead on. That runner will easily take second base. As Pike a little wild on the outside there, and we'll get away from Tompkins on the wild pitch. Now, to get a runner on with no outs is a whole different set of strategies here as compared to getting the runner on like they did with an out in that first inning. So Lyndon State threatening now. Nobody. Out runner at second. See if they go back to the bunt. They're going to swing away, and that'll be ball. Came in high for a ball. And I believe it's a 2-0 count. I'm waiting for Milt to tell us. That's that outside corner that she loves to pitch on, and she'll get the call right there. Yeah, she has to have that outside corner call there. It's going to be a long afternoon for Melissa Pike. That now come in high this time, and she couldn't induce the batter to swing at it, and it'll run it to a 3-ball, 1-strike count. Borden, the pitcher, on deck. Oh, that was not foul. That's a line ball. And a runner smartly will go down to third base. So, runner at third, nobody down, and now the runner went sliding into second for no reason, getting up a little bit slow, and looks like she's going to stay in the game and be all right. So I have it as a full count. And she gets a pop-up on the infield. Pike will make the catch and look the runner back to third, and you couldn't ask for the only thing better than that would have been a strikeout. But right there on the infield, the runner can't move up, and that's 1 down now, and Borden up. And let's see, fly out 1. Now, the big thing about Pike, too, like with that velocity and the ball movement she has, is she's at the bottom half of the order. If she can keep the ball in play, no wild pitches or pass balls, she can generate the strikeouts, manufacture the outs herself, not allow the run to come in. That'll be called a strike on Borden. Outside corner, and they rung it up for a strike. Got 2 strikeouts so far in the ballgame. Both of those came in the first inning, and that's a good job by Tompkins to go outside and snag that one. Last thing you want now is another pass ball or wild pitch. And there is not a lot of distance between home base and out of play here at CSJ. Strike 2 called. And again, that's Pike territory right there on that corner. She's got a 1-2 count. And let's see if she'll just come right back with that curveball in the corner. Oh, that's going to get the run home, I believe. They'll tag up. Getty will make the catch. And they didn't even send the runner. Holy crap. That surprises me. 2 outs now. That was a big moment in the second inning. A fly out to center field, and Patnout up, the second baseman. So Josie Patnout up with 2 down and that runner at third. The runner was at third with nobody out. Got 2 down now. And Pike just one batter away from getting out of the second inning without allowing the run to come in. And strike called. On deck would be the DP. It's going to be Tricia Lucier batting for the catcher, Fedorov. So CSJ will watch that coming for strike 2. Perfect pace on the ball. That had to be around 60, 61 miles an hour, that particular pitch. So Pike looking to ring her up to get out of the inning with her 3rd strikeout of the ball game. That's going to be popped up. That's going to drive the run in and more. That's going to be over the head of Amy Edge, and they'll drive in the first run of the ball game. It's going to be an RBI double. Yeah, and she came inside with the pitch. I don't know if she meant to or not, but she came inside with that pitch with 2 strikes, and man, did Pat now get around on it. And now the DP, Lucier, she also represents the number 9 hitter in the order, so that means top of the order's on deck. So that hit batter that started the inning off comes around to Burnham. And there's a strike from Pike. Yeah, I don't know if she just missed her target on that double, but she came inside after being outside twice, and when they're able to turn on it and pull the ball over the top of Amy Edge's head. And that's going to drop in. Now they've got to hustle to the ball, and they're not going to send a runner again. So they'll hold it at 1st and 3rd. Pike will fake the 1st, and a 2-out single will move the runners to the corners now at 1st and 3rd. Yeah, so Lauren Potter up there, she struck out her first time up. Actually, her only time up. So she's up there now with runners at the corners, and they're going to concede the steal at second base. Actually, it's not even a steal when they concede it, but they'll allow the runner to go down to second base in Lucier. Yeah, so Potter will look at that one outside for a ball. Lyndon State College, the Hornets, up at the plate on Munger Vision, watching college softball action. Yeah, it should go to a 3-ball, no strike count. So Pike started off this inning hitting the batter, then got 2 pop-outs, then the double, and the single, and now a 3-1 count. On deck will be Natalia Shams. Pike will wind it up, and that's going to be a tough play. She's got a number. She's going to spin, fire, and boy, did Filiberto do it. Filiberto with the stretch will get the out. They'll save the run. What a job by Maria Filiberto down at first. 1-0 Lyndon. And you're looking at the leadoff hitter, Alyssa Pike. She will be facing Ashley Borden to get things started here in the bottom of the second. 1-0 Lyndon State College with the lead. It's going to be Pike, Filiberto, and Rubel due up for Coach Serrani's Fighting Saints. And that is a strike call as that one sailed away from Pike and hit the outside corner. Borden had a runner on in the first inning. They got the third base with Getty. They couldn't bring her around, though. That last pitch of ball will be even now at 1-1 in the count. And Pike will hold up, and a good eye there, and she will be up in the count now, 2 balls and 1 strike. Again, Phelps, Potter, Patnout, and Gagne, the infield with Fedorov behind the dish. Can't catch up to that one, and 2-2 the count now on it. Again, same type of pitch tailing away from her. Leclerc, Shams, and Tucker, the outfield for Lyndon. They're able to get a run in the top half of the second to have the 1-0 lead, and Pike there living on the edge. We'll get the call her way, and it'll be 3 balls, 2 strikes, so a full count to the leadoff batter. And she will take one down the pipe. Force the second strikeout of the game. Pike will go down looking at strike 3, and Filiberto up now. Made that excellent play defensively with the catch at first and keeping her foot on the bag to end the inning. So Filiberto getting her first chance to look at what Ashley Borden has for pitches. And that'll be high outside for a ball. Tell you, when she misses, she's not missing by very much. Filiberto, a sophomore on this roster. And boy, way ahead of that one. It'll be a 1-1 count. Now that one kind of took off and up out of the strike zone, and Filiberto giving chase will swing through it. So on a 1-1 count, that. I don't know if that's her straight changeup. She certainly took some pace off the ball and laid it in there. And Had Filiberto kind of leaning back on her heels. So a 1-2 count with one out, nobody on. 1-0 to score. Lyndon State with the lead, and the pitch on the way will be fouled back, and we'll stay at a 1-2 count. Filiberto usually very good with 2 strikes in the count on her. She's, for some reason, then just like Landsberg, they get down in the count and then they kind of really ratchet up the intensity and the focus, and they can be just a pain in the butt to get that 3rd strike call on. And right there again, Borden taking something off that pitch. Filiberto able to get the barrel of the bat on it with the 2 strikes to protect the plate. Again, PEGTV's website, easy to remember. It's PEGTV.com. You can't get much simpler than that. They have video on demand, the schedule information, and that's a change up that hung up on her, and they'll make the count out even at 2 balls, 2 strikes. What little breeze there is blowing in from left field to first base. And it definitely, as you can see the trees in the background, is not a dominant breeze. Just did miss. Oh man, I'll tell you, I was looking at that myself back here, and that's a tough pitch to take with 2 strikes. I do believe it was a good call, but I do believe that's a tough one. And she will pop up foul territory, and they will not be able to get to it. So Filiberto again with a good at bat here, making her throw some pitches. So they'll retrieve all these foul balls, reload the pouch on the side of Milt, and we will have Filiberto step back in with the full count. Getting down to 3rd base is Phelps, and she's in very tight at the bag, and that's how you play it in softball. And man, she ripped that. Just did she bring her hands cross over just the way you do it in textbook, and almost able to get that down the line. That would have been at least a double if that would have got in there. Yeah, if you play 3rd base in softball, it isn't for the weak-hearted. And Borden will have that same ball bought into play to her. And we're in the bottom of the 2nd, scheduled for 7. Lyndon State in the field with the 1-0 lead. CSJ at the plate. And a full count on Filiberto. And she has worked that 4-walk. I tell you what, that was a textbook at bat right there. Oh, man. There were some good pitches fouled off to stay alive. And there's going to be a runner down at first. Now Jessica Rubel up the right fielder. And they got Nakia Vincent on deck. She's the DP in this ballgame, hitting for Lisa Lawrence. And that's a strike at the belt. Rubel showed no signs right there of scoring the bunt or slap. Looks like she's just swinging away. Filiberto has to watch the signs from 3rd base also. That is, whoa, what a bunt. They will get the runner over to 2nd. That thing just hit the ground and completely died. What a good job, too, at the last second of trying to disguise she was going to bunt. And then reaching up and deadening the ball. So 2 outs, and the 2nd inning in a row, they have a runner at 3rd base. Now Nakia Vincent up. And I'm looking at the corners. You know, never a bad time just to lay down another one here. There's a strike, and Vincent, watch that one just split the plate right down the middle. And actually, they only have a runner at 2nd base. I'm sorry, it's the 2nd inning in a row. They've had a runner in scoring position. Good job by the catcher Fedorov of going down in the dirt with the glove and keeping that ball in front of her. Very shallow in left field. Defensively, Leclerc very close. And there's the changeup, and that one floated on her, and it'll be a ball. Now, Borden's thrown the changeup in 2 innings, at least on 4 occasions already. The rest of the outfield pretty much straight away. And Vincent just couldn't catch up to the fastball. And I believe, I was going to say I thought she missed a sign, but Coach Franny talked more about hands through the strike zone. So with 2 strikes, 2 down, the pitch will be just off the plate inside, and Vincent will step back. And that will keep Filiberto down at 2nd base. CSJ looking for the tying run here in the bottom of the 2nd. And that'll end the inning. They'll strand one more in scoring position. We'll go to the 3rd, 1-0 Lyndon. Natalia Shams will lead things off here for Lyndon. She walked and got stranded at 2nd, back in the 1st. Tried to bunt, and you could see the result. She missed it, and strike 1. She's trying a directional bunt too. She wanted to put that right between the first baseman and the pitcher. That's one thing I think at any level I've watched, from junior high school to college. That's on the infield. That's on the infield. And to our pleasure, that's going to become a base hit. Yeah, that was just hitting the right spot. And it drops in there for an infield single. So Tucker up now. She struck out in the second. Starting to say so. You see a lot of bunting. I don't think teams at any level directional bunt enough. They're just happy to turn on and bunt. But you should have a direction to throw down to second. They're going to have her. They're looking, and yeah, they punched her out. What a throw by Tompkins, and the tag applied by Pleasure, and they'll erase that little infield single. And that was put out there on a laser beam by Tompkins. So the first out recorded, out trying to steal a base, and Tucker now will follow that down the first baseline. Got slapped foul, I mean, with some authority. So 2 strikes now on Tucker with Phelps on deck and nobody on base. We're in the top of the third, scheduled for 7, and it's got the, I don't know why, but it's got the feel of a David against Goliath. Team CSJ playing almost in awe of Lyndon. Yes, they're a good squad and all, but get out there and play. That's going to be picked up by Lawrence. No, and Rebel will pick it up just under the glove of Lawrence, and that'll be a base hit. So again now, that's how big that throwing the runner out at second base was on a steal attempt. So 2 hits this inning. Neither one of them hit with any authority, just perfectly placed with the right base. Now Phelps up. And Phelps grounded out to the pitcher. A hard line drive up the middle, taken over by Pike, and she threw the runner out at first. And there's a strike called to Phelps, and the runner not going on that particular pitch. I'd be surprised to see him lay down the bunt with Phelps. She's got some decent power, and they probably want to give her a challenge. Nice stop by Tompkins, going out in the dirt, sliding to her right and making the play. Can edge Getty and Bell in the outfield. That's, oh man, tell you what made that whole play happen? I know you couldn't pick it up on the camera. Tahara Pleasure had broke to second base to cover the bag as the runner had taken off, and that little bit of a movement opened up the hole. She hit the ball right where Pleasure was standing. So Leclerc up, she got hit by a pitch and scored the game's only run in the second. So again, how big was that throwing the runner out trying to steal? Because that's 3 hits this inning and no runs yet. Runners at first and second, 1 out. That's going to be, boy, they should grab that. It's foul, yeah. Yeah, that thing, if it had enough English on it and it had some spin and motion, it could have came back into play. They wouldn't have gotten anybody out. So they're trying to small ball them over with 1 down. So Leclerc almost laid down the perfect bunt. So Pike, they're getting some contact off here. And that's going to be a foul ball, yeah. So 0-2, and you've heard me say it all year, it's not an automatic thing to take the bunt off anymore. And trends are changing, but we'll see what they want to do here with number 3, Sarah Leclerc, the left fielder. So far, she has scored the game's only run. Pike needing a strikeout. We'll reach in and tell you what, she threw a rise ball, and it did rise. And Tompkins again going up to get. They got just what they want. They're playing Lori Serrani ball. Lyndon is. They're getting they're slapping, they're bunting, they're stealing, they're making the defense move around. And yeah, see, she didn't take the bunt off, and she couldn't get the bunt down, and that will become strike 3, and Leclerc will be retired. And again, 2 down now, but that's how they scored their runners with 2 outs in the second. They have 2 down now, runners at first and second, and Mary Gagne up. She flied out to the pitcher, Pike. So again, Pike trying to get out of the inning with just the runners at first and second, not allowing any more runs to come in. And they're going to take a break here, and Milt will clean the plate off. There it goes, looks brand new. So Borden on deck, and Gagne at the plate. And Pike steps onto the rubber, and she's in the circle. She's set to go, and the pitch will be right there for a strike. Absolutely beautiful pitch. Okay, Pike's got some velocity today. She's got some nice pop on the ball. Strike 2 called, outside corner, 0-2 the count. Coach Kirchhoff with a long look down to the batter. Didn't flash any signs, and we are set to go. Pike with 3 strikeouts in the ballgame. Would love to bring up number 4 right here, and she will get a drop third strike, and that'll be the inning. Yep, she will strand the 2 runners, and they'll stay 1-0. Lyndon. Amy Edge up at the top of the order here to get things going in the 3rd inning. And Lyndon's got to start going back and recounting some of the runners they've stranded here through the early first third of the ball game. Salem, New York is where Amy Edge hails from, and not only does she play the outfield, she can also pitch. So she will step back from that pitch. That's a little bit too far inside and tight. And got to keep track of the injury. Sarah Leclerc on the bench right now with ice on her shin foot area where she got hit with the pitch a couple innings ago, and that's going to be a foul ball. And it'll be a 1-2 count. So we have a new left fielder. I just can't see the numbers, so I can't tell you who's in there for Lyndon right now in left field. But they have the rest of the defense the same, and I'll tell you who that is in just 1 second. I'll let this pitch from Borden come in, and that's going to be a base hit. So Amy Edge able to fight off the pitch and get down to first base, so they'll have the leadoff runner on, and again, that changes the strategy completely. Top of the order up in Landsberg. Landsberg lined out to the pitcher, her only time up. And that's the first official hit of the ball game. There were 2 walks prior to that for CSJ, and then Edge will get the game's first base hit for CSJ. So Landsberg now shows bunt, and yeah, she went, and it's a strike on that missed bunt attempt. Phelps is at 3rd, Potter at short, Patnaud's at 2nd, Gagne's at 1st, Federoff's the catcher, Borden's in the circle. That's the interior defense for the Lyndon State College squad. Set the outfield for you from 2 of the outfielders. Beautiful bunt. That's going to get the runner over to 2nd, and yep, job's done. Runner in scoring position now with just 1 out for CSJ. So a perfect bunt laid down on the sacrifice by Landsberg. And Vicky Getty up. She walked and got stranded at 3rd base her first time up. Remember, she got in the pickle play and ended up taking 2nd base, and she's going to step into the left side, and that would indicate to me they're thinking small ball here. So Getty all set with the runner down at 2nd. Trying to do that right there. And she's going out. The hesitation by Borden. Right there, you go for the absolutely high percentage out, which is at first base. Now, by that little bit of indecision, she's allowed runners at the corners with just the 1 down, and Tompkins up. She laid down a sacrifice bunt her first time up as CSJ trying to small ball their way into a tie here. And don't forget, Tompkins, not only the bunt here, you gotta be looking for the slap from Irene. So 1st and 3rd and 1 down. Oh, she was trying to put it down the 3rd baseline. Yep. That'll be foul ball, strike 1. So best scoring opportunity. You know, they've had a runner at 3rd in the 1st inning and a runner at 2nd in the 2nd. They've got runners at the corners. Just the 1 out makes the difference here. This is their best opportunity. Now Tompkins will come around to the right-hand side and miss the runner going, and there's the out. Here comes the break home. She got a late break, and she's going to be out. Yeah, she got a late break from 3rd. I like the gamble. That double play will end the inning, and Lyndon State will keep that 1-0 lead. Play, and I tell you, I like the call. I like making something happen. I like trying to jump start and be different. I like the double steal. Couple things. They really held the runner at 3rd base. Edge way too long to release her. And Getty at that point might have been better off to just put the brakes on back up and try to get another pickle play. But I like the gutsiness of the call, and that'll be outside for a ball to board. And Pike in the circle, and I got the change now. Leclerc, the left fielder, is out of the ball game, and Erica Kelleher, number 18, has taken her spot. That's going to be fouled out of play. So I'm just wondering if Kelleher, she would bat in the place of Leclerc. So 1-0 in the 4th, and I told you this was going to be a competitive, tight, good ball game. We've seen some great plays already. Runner thrown out at home base, runner thrown out 2nd, some good pitching. 4 strikeouts in the ball game right now for Pike. Boy, she got her to help her out right there. Got her up, go up the ladder, and falls off the fist out of play. And that one's not coming back down. That's on the roof and in the gutter system on the roof line. Boy, you can hear that aluminum clink up there. So 2 strikes on board, and then Pike does not want to allow that leadoff batter on this inning. And good stop by Tompkins. Even though nobody's on base, you want to keep the rhythm of the pitcher going. She'll flash the sign. Didn't take them long to get on the same page, and they'll be outside, and there's the walk. So they will have the leadoff batter on here in the 4th. And Josie Patnout up. She had the RBI double to score the game's only run back in the 2nd. And Amy Edge on that play at home. They're going to throw down to first, and Filiberto make the grab, the runner back safe. And Amy Edge on that play at home base to end the last inning. Got a pretty good scrape across her knee there, and then Mike Dorian able to patch her up and get her back out in the field. That's a foul on a bunt attempt. So Pat now looking to small ball there. She had to double the first time up and was looking for the sacrifice there. On a nice afternoon to play softball action, the last doubleheader of the season. That's to Pike. You know, she took her time. They'll get the force out. Yep. And Filiberto will dig it out of the dirt, and it'll be safe. So they get the lead runner. And boy, they, you know, right there, just late getting to the bag on the coverage. Pike waited, or they could have had the double play. But there's 1 out, 1 on. And Lucier up. She had a single. So still, from the left side now, we'll see what they want to do. She ran toward it like she wanted to slap the ball down the third baseline. Landsberg in about 5 feet from the bag at third. And Filiberto, close enough to call it even at the bag. She's actually 1 or 2 steps in. The outfield exceptionally shallow. And that'll be a ball. 2 balls and no strikes to Lucier, top of the order. Potter on deck. Yep, the final doubleheader. This is game 1 of 2 games, and that's going to be slapped down to first, and yep, they'll flip it over, get the out. It's a 2 down, runners down to second base, but 2 outs. That's the big number. Well, you can see each team really executing that small ball. So that went 3-4 on the ground out. Yep. So Potter up, she struck out in the first and then grounded out to the pitcher. And again, like I said, you start going through the scorebook, you can see a lot of runners left on base for Lyndon State. They left a runner on second in the first. They left runners on second and third in the second. Runners on first and second in the third. And they have a runner on second right now in the 4th. So yeah, they're starting to add up. You can't bring them in. CSJ had their best offensive threat in the bottom of the 3rd in the double play at second and at home. And that's going to drop in front of Rubel. She'll knock it down, and they're going to send the runner. They're going to bring the ball into the pitcher, and yeah, they didn't. And Tompkins letting them know that that ball should have came through to home. They would have had a good chance of getting Patton out of home, and that would become an RBI single for Potter. That'll increase the lead to 2-0 now. Shams up. Natalia Shams has walked and singled. She's also had a stolen base and been out trying to steal a base. So that all taking place with 2 down. They're able to get that second run in, and that's going to be fouled right out from the mask of Tompkins, and she's going to kind of get that ringing in her ears out, and she's tough. She'll stay in there. And so Pike will get the strike call. And like I said, Tompkins will get the water out of her eyes. Nothing lights up your life like getting a foul ball off a mask. And that'll be a ball. So a run in the first and a run in the 4th. And Lyndon State with that 2-0 lead. And that'll be outside. A good stop by Tompkins as she sprung to the outside of the plate and caught the ball and didn't allow the runner to move up. That's Potter with good speed down at first base for Lyndon. That's going to be past Pike to Tahara Pleasure to first, and they got her. They got her again. Filiberto doing that contortionist act over there at first base will make the out. 2-zip Lyndon. Remember, Tompkins was at the plate when that double steal was turned into a double play, and she's back up there now. Now be ball 1. We're in the bottom of the 4th. Lyndon State College in the field with the lead 2-0 now. We're CSJ at CSJ's home field here. And a good eye by Tompkins, and that'll be ball 2. Tahara Pleasure and Melissa Pike, the next 2 batters, due up for CSJ. And boy, she just couldn't catch up. They turned Borden, the pitcher, turned that over nicely and got that screwball action away from the right-handed hitter and had some pop on it to boot. That'll be ball 3. That rise ball did rise, and it was above the letters when it came across the plate. It's not where the catcher catches the ball, but that definitely was a ball. And 3-1 now to Tompkins. And she reached out and popped it up onto the roof and onto the ground. So full count to the leadoff batter in the 4th for CSJ. Irene Tompkins at the catcher's position today defensively in the first game. And boy, she lifted that. Tompkins is going to be running. That's going to be at least a double. And Tompkins is going to take the, nope, she's going to hang out at second. So they will have a nice stop by the third baseman too, because that would have been out of play. So she'll be at second base with a no doubt about it double. And Tahara Pleasure up. She struck out in the first inning. She'll get her second look now at Borden. That pitcher right there, Ashley Borden, will have the leadoff batter on. And not just on, but in scoring position with nobody down. And CSJ looks like they're going to try to small ball her over to third. Yep, they're trying to just slide the bunt down the first baseline and will miss. And now, doesn't mean just because she's going to the right side that she's going to take the bunt off. Pleasure didn't seem to have, she seemed to exhibit displeasure in the bunt sign. That'll be a ball, and she showed no bunt attempt there. So Tompkins at second, and CSJ has had their share of runners stranded in scoring position. Not as much as Lyndon, but they've had their opportunities. That's going to be to second. They'll get the runner to third to throw to first. She's going to be out, so they'll get, well, just like a sacrifice. They'll end up with Tompkins at third base with just 1 down, and now Melissa Pike up. That was a close play at first. Pike struck out back in the second. Again, like I said, a lot of times they get the batters get their second look at the pitchers here, and they'll make their adjustments. So Pike, with just the 1 out, runner at third, has Filiberto on deck. So Pike is a left-handed batter. That's why she's standing on the left-handed side. Well, first pitch is key. That, to me, is key. She wanted to drag bunt it down the first baseline, and now she's down in the count 0-1. To me, yeah, you got to keep it on now, in my opinion, which means nothing. You committed to it. You got to stick with it. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah. Nothing wrong with first and third. Nobody out. If the ball, don't forget, it rained before the game, rained all night. It's a very soft field right now, as you can tell by some of the bunt attempts, how they're just dying right there. The field's hard, that rolls between first and the pitcher. They send the runner home. But right there's a good situation where they just held the runner up to see what was going to happen. And with first and third, Filiberto up. That's a ball. She pulled the bat back, and the runner not going at first. I would be surprised if they send Pike on a non-contact play. And Jessica Rubel on deck for CSJ. They had something going in the last inning. A double play kind of didn't kind of ruin it, did ruin it. They'll throw down to second, runner fake going, and that was cut off by the shortstop. So everybody there on both sides of the diamond really executed that very well. The fake steal, drew the throw, the cutoff came in on the play. That was excellent. Filiberto now will step over to the right side. Remember her at bat last time she walked. She really made the pitcher work. That's going to be a tough play to make. And again, she elects to eat the ball. I'm straddling the fence on my opinion on that. She, on 2 little bunts, she has elected not to make the throw. Now she's got the bases loaded, 1 out. Yeah, it sets up more combinations to make a double play, sets up a force out at any base, but it also puts a lot of pressure on your defense not to commit an error or wild pitch pass ball. And I'll tell you what, there was no bunt there. That was Jessica Rubel swinging from downtown Rutland. She got her cuts on that one. And Nakia Vincent on deck. Oh, this would be just... Oh, I like the way they came back with the bunt. 0-2 now to Rubel. She's got to make contact. Yeah, because remember, CSJ had runners in scoring position, tried to double steal last inning, got the runner thrown out at second and at home. They got the bases loaded, 1 down, and they can't let 2 more opportunities like this slip away. Good job of getting on the ball. That she made contact and fouled it off. So good job with the 2 strikes by Rebel. Lassing, well, not the Lassing, but they right now, Lyndon looking for a strikeout. Rebel looking to make contact, and CSJ now on a double play. They can get right back in the ball game here. Just laid off the rise ball. And it was up the ladder, now the strike zone like a good pitcher's pitch would be, and Rebel showed some good discipline there to lay off it. Man, a tight atmosphere today, like a playoff. She'll lay off from that. That should even it up at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Got 2-2 the count, Milt says. Saints on every base. And Rebel at the plate. We're in the bottom of the 4th, 2-0 Lyndon. Oh, beautiful pitch. Oh, beautiful pitch. So Rebel will strike out for the 2nd out, and now Vincent up. She struck out in the 2nd, and I tell you, they worked so hard to get the bases loaded with just the 1 out. So Nakia Vincent looking for the timely hit here for the Saints. She was swinging for the downs there. Yes, pulled the head off the ball. That's what they're telling her from third base and from the bench area. 0-1 to count, and Borden looking to get out of this pickle, which would also, I don't know if it'd reinforce the strategy of not making the plays on the bunts, but it would become an irrelevant point if she gets out of this, no run scored. Tried to change up, and it sailed outside on her. We're in the bottom of the 4th, scheduled for 7, 2-0 Lyndon State College with the lead over CSJ, who's had chances the last 2 innings to either take the lead or tie the thing up. And that'll be inside on Vincent. 3-1 the count, and Borden digging herself. She started to climb out of the hole with the bases loaded. Now she kind of dug a little bit of a hole with a 3-1 count. Gets a full count now on a swing and a miss. So it's all down to this pitch right here in the 4th inning. Saints, bases loaded, 2 down, full count. Nakia Vincent and Ashley Borden in a little bit of a battle here. Borden's pitch will be popped up, and that's a tough spot. That's a tough spot. Gonna be caught. They'll leave them loaded. They won't get the run. It'll be 2-0 Lyndon going into the 5th. On a sunny 5th inning, Sarah Tucker will be the leadoff batter against Melissa Pike. And boy, CSJ, like I said, they've had opportunities the last 2 innings especially. Boy, that's going to be Rebel in foul territory. Almost came up with a great grab. Good effort by Rebel. She covered a lot of territory. That becomes just a foul ball strike. So Tucker, who has struck out in single, 1 for 2 on the afternoon. Pike into the 5th inning. She has gone 7 innings many times this year and has not thrown an excess amount of pitches. And Pike will make the grab and avoid the contact. And tell you what, she looked pretty fast on that sprint to get the ball. She gave me a little bit of lip when I got here because I was commenting on her base running one game in a tongue-in-cheek manner. And she was just joking around with me. But tell you what, she hustled after that and did a good job. Now Angel Phelps up. She has grounded out to a hard shot up the middle that Pike grabbed and threw her out the pitcher, and then she singled. So to get that leadoff batter out. And except we're in the fifth, scheduled for 7, and just a 2-run deficit for the Saints. They need to have their defense take care of the job right now and get to through this last third of the ball game. Not let the deficit grow. That pitch a ball, good eye by Phelps. Yeah, and Kelleher should be the on-deck batter. And that had some pop on it. It was a ball, but boy, did it have some pop on it. And that's going to be down to Landsberg. She'll think of the long throw. Filiberto again doing the great. Filiberto should be a gymnast. I tell you, she's done that all year. She's by far the best first baseman I've seen all season. Going to have to call her Gumby the way she stretches out over there. And I'll tell you what, Landsberg should buy her lunch for that. I'll be outside. And I missed the number, but I have it. Should be Kelleher hitting for Leclerc, who hurt her foot. And boy, did she get out the end of the bat. Tataro Pleasure and a 1-2-3 inning for Melissa Pike and the Saints. We'll go to the bottom of the fifth. 2-0 Lyndon. Amy Edge, who's got a base hit today, she'll be at the plate. She got cut down trying to score on that double steal. And the Saints in the bottom of the fifth. I'll tell you what, Borden got her to chase that one. Up and out of the strike zone, and it'll be a swinging strike one. Top of the order, Landsberg on deck, followed by Getty. If everything holds to form the way it is right now, and the game was to conclude like this, you'd have to go back and look at those opportunities the Saints had. Actually, both teams go back and look at the opportunities. It's been a good one, though. It's been a tight one, and it's had some good execution in it. That's going to be down to third base. The throw, and they're going to get her. She made good contact and pulled the ball, but she will ground out 5-3. And she hit it to probably one of the strongest arms on the field, and Angel Phelps down there. And Landsberg up. She's lined out to the pitcher, and then she sacrificed. So with one down, they're trying to get something started here offensively. You're at CSJ's athletic complex, right behind the basketball facility, the gym facility. A beautiful field, and it'll be a ball off the outside edge of the catcher's glove, and Sarah Fedorov will chase it down. Ashley Borden's the pitcher. Mary Gagne's at first. Josie Badnow's at second. Lauren Potter's at short. Angel Phelps is at third. Kelleher, Shams, and Tucker are the outfield for the Lyndon Hornets. Boy, that's going to be a short skip to shortstop, and they'll get her. That was a tougher hop because, again, it was a dead hop when it came up. No rotation on the ball. And they'll be 2 down now, but both players making contact. So we've got a 5-3 and a 6-3 ground out. Now Vicky Getty up. Irene Tompkins on deck in case CSJ can extend it. So Borden looking for a 1-2-3 inning of work here. Gets the sign from Fedorov, and that will miss the target. It'll be a little bit outside and to the backstop for a ball. Yeah, so Getty, the center fielder, been on base twice today. She's had a stolen base, and she's been thrown out trying to steal base. And Getty with the good power. She's had a couple home runs here at home this year on Munger Vision. Good eye right there for ball 2. Again, I hope you've enjoyed all the CSJ softball action coming to you from the College of St. Joseph's Provider on PEGTV Channel 15, brought to you by Munger Vision. I'd like to thank the administration and the athletic director, Mark Benetatis, for allowing me to be here and videotape their sports. That's going to be a 2-ball, 1-strike count with that pitch being called a strike. And so again, the game has had a good pace to it, a lot of action, and that's going to be a beautiful bunt. She got it. She legged it out. I tell you what, I'm not sure if the third baseman would have just waited another second if that would have kicked foul. So Getty with 2 outs at first, and some pretty good speed actually down at first base. Gives them some options of what they want to do. Tompkins up. She's sacrificed and doubled. And I got to tell you the truth, with 2 down, I'd have Irene just swinging away, especially after that double to the right center field gap she had last time. So again, they've got a runner on base. We're in the bottom of the 5th. And that's lifted a mile. That should be playable. And that's going to be snagged out in center field. It was up there a mile. They'll strand one. We'll go to the 6th, 2-0 Lyndon. That's we're getting into the late stages now. We're in the 6th inning. Right, Gagne, Ashley Borden, and Josie Padnow do up for Lyndon against Pike. There's a strike called. As Tompkins remains behind the plate. Landsberg's at third, Pleasure at short, Lawrence at second, and Filiberto at first. That's going to be third attempt, snagged by Pike, as she will be 3 for 3 in the assist department, and she has fielded her position extremely well today. She has 4 strikeouts in the ball game also. Now Ashley Borden, she has popped out to center field and walked. And that looks to be playable. That's a tough catch, and she'll drop it. Yeah, she was looking into the sun and kind of backpedal and just go for a foul ball strike. So Filiberto gave it a good try, and so Pike back to the circle, Borden at the plate. And the pitch coming. That'll be popped up to Getty, and she's usually very automatic out there in center field. She'll make the catch, and that's going to be out number 2. So in the 6th inning, the first 2 batters retired for Lyndon. And Josie Padnow up. She has an RBI and has scored a run today, so she has been quite the offensive menace here for CSJ. And it's going to be popped out of play. No, Landsberg, I don't know if you can see it through the fence. She made the catch in foul territory, but in play, and that'll be the inning. Now, 1-2-3 inning for CSJ defensively. Jay with just 6 outs left in the ball game. We'll look at strike 1 at Tahara Pleasure. Borden has pitched well. She's been let off the hook a couple times, but she hasn't hurt herself with a lot of walks either. Her defense has been very solid behind her. Fedorov behind the plate. And Pleasure has struck out and grounded out to second base, so she's looking to get on base for the first time today. And that's going to be to short, and cleanly picked up to throw to first, and they'll retire Pleasure for the 3rd time today on that 6-3 ground out. Now Pike up, she has struck out and singled. She got stranded at second base. Yeah, she's in there now, and she is all set. And she'll take the big swing, and it'll be foul ball. She's got that left-hander stepping out of the stepping in the bucket there, pulling her foot toward the first base side on her swings. Bases are clear. Lyndon stayed up by 2. There's 1 down in the bottom of the 6th. Scheduled for 7, and that fastball just overpowered Pike, and Borden will be up in the count now, 0-2. And they are shading Pike a tad bit toward the first base side, the right field side, and the outfield. Oh, just missed. Oh, I didn't miss by much, but it did just miss. That is a tough 2-strike pitch to take. So Pike, with those 2 strikes, trying to protect the plate. We'll get a piece of it. That's going to be trouble. That's going to be trouble, and she'll be safe. They'll go out from the catcher glove to the shortstop, and still almost made the play, but Pike able to burn it down the sideline and get there. So it'll become an infield single, and Filiberto up now. She has walked and singled, and see if they put the bunt play on the slap or if they're going to have her swinging away. Now Pike hit the ball hard enough. She drove it so that it went off from the pitcher's glove. And by the time the shortstop, Potter, had recovered, that'll be a foul ball, and there she was swinging away on that. And that'll be fouled out of play for strike 1. Again, CSJ had 2 runners on. I'm just looking in the 3rd inning, tried to double steal. Got the runner thrown out at second and at home. Then had the bases loaded and 1 out. And couldn't get the timely hit to get the runner in. And like I said, they're down to just 5 outs right now. They need to start generating those chances and taking advantage of them. Pike at first base with that infield single, and now Filiberto looking down to Coach Serrani at third base. And Borden into the circle, all set. We'll get the sign and winds it up. Slap play ball. Runner's going, and she's going to be safe. Yeah. There was some indecision on covering the bag between the shortstop and second baseman. That caused the catcher to double pump. I believe that's also a missed contact play by Filiberto. And Pike showing those wheels out there. Got the speed to get down to second. And put herself in scoring position now. Oh. Strike three. Second out, runner at second now. Rubel up, she's had a sacrifice, and she has struck out. Let's see what they do with Rubel here with a 2 down. She didn't show that she's going to drop the barrel of the bat. And they'll drop the ball. Pike's going to be going back home. Oh, the third, I hope. Yeah. Yep, they're wearing Pike out, running around the bases. Pike said to me before the game she had a cup of coffee before the game. She should have never done that. Because, well, I can't tell you the reason, but she couldn't think she had that cup of coffee the way they got her running around now. So she's got a couple of steals, and her teammates better hope they pick her up, or she's going to do some talking on the bench after this inning. Oh, that's going to be trouble. That's going to become an RBI single, and Pike's running will pay off, and she will come in and cut the lead in half, and Rubel will have the RBI single. I tell you what, Pike better recover now between now and getting back out to pitch the seventh. So the tying run at first, Rubel coming through with the big hit, and Nakia Vincent up now. She is, last time up, she popped out to center field. And Rubel, I think she's got good speed. She's down at first base. Oh, beautiful pitch. 0-2 the count to Vincent. That has some juice on it. That pitch was by far one of the harder ones she has thrown the whole ball game. 2-1 now. Lyndon stayed up by 1. Just missed. Rubel going, and she will be down at second base. So 1-2 count, and boy, I tell you, it's okay. She got the ball called, but that was a close one to be watching with 2 strikes. Yeah, 2 outs. Running on everything, she's telling Rubel down there. There's contact, third base. The throw, and they're going to have it, but they'll have a chance down 2-1. They need to hold Lyndon here in the top of the 7th. You see CSJ, they know the job they got to do. They got to keep them scoreless here in the top of the 7th, and it'll be Lucia leading things off. Number 5. With her back to you right there, she represents the bottom of the order, top of the order on deck, and 2-1 ball game. Boy, and all those little pieces throughout the contest make the big picture at the end, and strike called. So Rubel with the RBI single. Pike coming in on that run after the nifty base running, got her around to third base, put herself in a position to score on a single. That's going to be fouled straight back. That was a good rip. Had a good pitch. Now, Lucia today has a base hit. She's 1 for 2. She's also grounded out. And so Pike looking to finish strong. I went to the changeup and hit her leg coming through and kind of threw the whole pitch off, so go 1 and 2. No, not a bad idea to come back with the changeup now that they muffed it that time. Whatever it was, Pike shook it off and took the sign, and she came in with the changeup back to back and didn't get the call. Yeah, now she's saying she doesn't want to throw that again. So, as a catcher, you got to find which pitcher's confident in tossing out there. That's a rise ball, so we'll go to a full count now. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And they're looking to come to the outside corner, I believe is what I just... Yeah, and she'll get the leadoff batter on in the 7th. I missed the play. So Potter up. She had an RBI single in the 4th, which right now stands to be the winning run in the ball game, if the score holds up the way it is. But that leadoff runner down at first with good speed, nobody down, gives you a lot of options as a coach, strategy-wise. That's a foul ball bunt. They're trying to small ball her over. And so Pike going to have to work hard here in the 7th to keep things at a 1-run deficit. As the sun has come out a few innings ago, a very pleasant day. That's a foul ball. They're trying to pull it down the first baseline. And again, we've already seen today on several occasions, not automatically taken off just because there's 2 strikes. So Pike hasn't had a strikeout since the 3rd inning. We're in the 7th. Just missed. And the throw down to first, runner back. Filiberto turned, did put the tag on, but it was a very, very late tag. Oh, that's going to be caught on the line by Rebel. Can she double her up? Nope. It's going to be out of play. Yeah. Yeah, so that will allow the runner to get down to 3rd base. So they will get the out and then the error by Rebel. So Shams up now. She has walked, singled, and grounded out. So it's a big error right there and a big run sitting down at 3rd base. Shams shows bunt, pops it up, and it'll be out of play. So a walk and an error has kind of put a pickle on the breezing through the 7th, as they've had to, like I said, they got to work hard now to get that, keep that runner down at 3rd base. So Natalia Shams, so she'll pull back for the slap. And she was trying to slap it down the first baseline. There's 2 strikes. There's been a lot of strategy today by both sides has been employed. Well, for whatever, they automatically switched bats after the 2 strikes. I don't know if that's the bunt bat they had or superstitious bat, but she switched bats and she's got an 0-2 count. Oh, went up the ladder a little bit too far. But with an 0-2 count, you can do that. I don't think it's a bad idea to go right back to it. And that's on the infield, and that's playable. And I can't see who caught it. Tompkins, because the post. Tompkins caught it between Landsberg. That was actually the 3rd baseman's ball, but they were both calling for it. And that'll be 2 down now. That was a big out. Sarah Tucker up. She struck out, singled, and popped up to the pitcher. So she is 1 for 3 today. And this is where you can't let down. This is a big, big play right here. They're going to the bottom of the 7th down just 2-1. So Pike wants the outside corner, and that's going to be foul. Yeah, it's out of play. Rebel giving it a good chase, but it'll be out of play. She'll actually retrieve the ball, but a very tense top of the 7th for CSJ. They cut the lead in half in the bottom of the 6th, 2-1. A run in the 2nd and a run in the 4th. That gave Lyndon the 2-0 lead. CSJ with their run in the bottom of the 6th. We're at 2-1 in the top of the 7th. Now behind, make it a 1-1 count. Melissa Pike, a senior. Oh, that's going to be Getty. Got it. They'll come up in the bottom of the 7th, down just the 1 run to Lyndon. So Amy Edge, who's 1 for 2 today, she's made contact twice, and we're in the bottom of the 7th. Could be the final at-bats here. And it'll sail outside for a ball. Borden down in the count, 1 ball, no strikes. Top of the order on deck with Landsberg, then Getty. And if they get to a number 4 hitter this inning, it'll be Tompkins. And a tight one today. That's a good swing that's be fouled out of play. Again, I told you Lyndon's going to be probably some of the best competition that they get to see here at CSJ's home field this season. And CSJ's played very well today. That'll be the ball for a 2-1 count. They picked up their only run back in the 6th and an RBI single by Jessica Rubel. I'm talking about the Saints. They're at the plate with the blue uniforms on and the windup. And that's going to be foul. That'll be a foul ball down the first baseline. And that'll even things out at 2-2. And this is where we have seen the changeup a couple different times today by Borden. Right now, though, 1 run. That's what they're concentrating on. Get the thing tied up. Then worry about the second run. And that's going to be a right back drop. Picked up. Pitcher Borden to first. Got it. So Amy Edge has made contact. Decent contact. That's a hard line drive up the middle. All 3 times today at the plate. So Landsberg up. She lined out to the pitcher, sacrificed, and then grounded out to the shortstop, Potter. Again, it's Seniors Day. This is game 1 of a doubleheader that will conclude the regular season, and that looks to be playable. Coming in on the ball, and the Sun making the grab. Yep, so 2 outs here after 2 hits. 2 balls that made contact, I should say. So that was caught out there by Kelleher. And now Vicky Getty up. So Getty taking a look down to Coach Serrani at third base, and Ken Tompkins on deck if they can get her there. So Getty looking to get on base. We'll see what they call here. There's a strike called at the knee. Like I said, we've seen Getty at home here a couple times hit home runs, legitimate home runs. So see if they're going to let her swing away with 2 down and the bases clear. And boy, a little change of pace fooled Getty. She'll step back and she'll be down 0-2 in the count. So down to their final strike in game number 1, 2-1 Lyndon, and the pitch coming in from Borden to Fedorov. Strike 3 looking, that is the ball game, and Lyndon State will get the win 2-1 over CSJ in game number 1.